Hey, what is up, everybody? This is Damron. We're playing Assassin's Creed Chronicles China, and in this guide, we're covering all of the missions, trying to achieve the highest score and fastest time in each memory in order to get the Completionist achievement. We're also doing the way it's meant to be, which is to complete every memory on plus or plus hard game modes, because we're using the Shadow Gold method, which is essentially to beat all of these levels without being seen. So this is really the method that you want to use for those harder difficulties, so you're avoiding combat and you're getting through these missions as easily as possible. I covered a lot of details about this playthrough in the first mission, so I'm not going to go over all of those again. Essentially, I'll just kind of chime in on the more challenging parts in the missions to kind of tell you some things that could go wrong. In this one, this is actually one of the more challenging parts. When you get behind this log here, be sure you turn around. So you see I'm facing the left before you use your rope dart to hit the ceiling above you. The reason you want to do that, as soon as you hit the ceiling, if you're facing to the left, you can immediately kind of climb up to the next ledge. If you're facing to the right, you'll have to actually turn around before you go up on the next ledge, and sometimes that will cause just a long enough delay for that archer to turn around and spot you before you get to climb up. So as we're progressing through, again, I'm not going to talk over the whole thing. I'll chime in on the more difficult parts. I know this is an older game and a lot of people probably won't see these, but I just found as I was playing it, some of the guides, people didn't really describe things or go over scenarios that worked and didn't work. So I'll try to, again, give you a little bit of extra info on those more challenging situations. We're actually coming up on another one of the more challenging parts in this particular level, because we do have to do all the side missions in order to get the highest score in each memory. So we are doing all the side missions. This one we have to free all the slavers, and this particular one is difficult because there's two guards down here that cover the distance, and what makes this challenging is getting back up after you free the slave. So once we free the slave, and a nice little trick about a lot of the soldiers is if you get really close to them, you can actually avoid their cone of vision. So if you see the cone of vision starts from their head, and it actually right at their feet, there's enough room, ironically, for you to just crouch and stand right in front of them and not get seen. So you're going to see me do that right here. And honestly, I think this is the best way to get back up after freeing that slave without being spotted, because the reason is it's going to take you a long time to rope dart up to the roof above you and then climb around to the wall right there and get back up before the guy that's over on the right, before he turns around and sees you. So what you want to do is crouch right in front of that guy and then throw a rope dart as far away as possible so that that guy walks to the right, and hopefully before he turns around you can rope dart to the ceiling and climb back up to here before he turns around. So you have to be pretty quick right there, and that part actually took me a couple tries, but you need to be pretty quick. And I'll mention again, we're not trying to create world records or anything, so just keep in mind, guys, if you mess up, just press start and restart the checkpoint. As long as you don't get to the indication right there where it says Shadow Gold, as long as you don't get that indication, the game hasn't saved the checkpoint, and you'll be able to restart the checkpoint and keep trying it until you're able to get through it without being detected. This is another actually kind of challenging part. There's quite a few challenging parts in this mission. So right there, when you climb up that path that I took to get to the second level, you need to stay all the way to the left, or that Pullman guard will spot you. So you have to stay as far to the left as you can when you climb up that in order to kind of get to the second level. Now, once you get here, you're going to jump off to the right and run and slide as fast as you can before that Pullman is going to turn around. So you have to really time that right in order to get down here and free this next slave. Once you get down here, this is pretty easy, because as these guys are looking over the ledge, you can just run over here and free the slave. And the guy that's to my left right now, he never turns to the right. So anytime that they're up, your vision from the left archer guy is blocked from the guy on the right, and then after that they just look down, and again you can just run past them. So it's pretty easy. The challenging part about this section is getting down here and then getting back up, because the Pullman right here on this level, he turns around quite often. So when we go back up, we're going to need to use a firecracker and run quickly and get up before he turns around. And the firecracker effect doesn't last too long. You can see right there, it's already deactivated. So that, getting down to that slave and getting back up is pretty difficult. But if you follow the steps that I showed you and just kind of do it exactly how I did, you should be able to get through there relatively consistently.
于大用派出加倍的人马巡逻了，你知道发生什么事？救命啊！谁来救救我们
So this is our final slave that we have to rescue, and what you want to do is essentially just throw a Norse dart that's going to get this guy to look to the left, okay? And you have enough time to jump down here and free the slave and get back up. If you're struggling kind of doing this relatively quickly, you can just throw another noise dart like I did there and kind of restart his timer of being spooked by the noise dart. You do have enough time to make it actually just with one noise dart, but like I said, if you want the easy way, kind of just make it easy on yourself, as soon as you free that slave, go ahead and throw a second noise dart.
织，别听信传言。我听说秋菊现在在要塞这里，他来视察古大用的任务进度。 别听信传言。我听说秋菊现在在要塞这里，他来视察古大用的任务进度。
If I could distract him somehow.
So this part's pretty tricky too. You have to, you know, we need to get up above us, right, to get to that wheel to lower that drawbridge. First thing is just wait for this guy that's down below to be walking to the right, because when he looks up, he can spot you pretty quickly. So you saw me crouch down to avoid that. Now this polearm guy, we want to throw a noise dart as far to the left as possible to get him to be far away and give us enough time to lower this drawbridge and then drop back down, because he's going to turn around eventually. And you know, they see right there, but I'm all the way to the point where his cone of vision wouldn't even have seen me if he turned around. So you want to go him, you know, get him all the way to the left as far as you can before you lower that drawbridge. And when you lower it, the guy on the right is always going to get spooked. So you want to lower it and immediately drop back down and hang on to the drawbridge itself. So the only thing I'll mention about this last section here, you know, maximize as soon as he turns around, like give you the most time to walk up and finish this mission. Essentially, he's always going to turn around and see you after the mission ends, but as soon as you do this, you're going to get the shadow gold credit right here. So even though he gets alerted when he turns around, that's just like a game mechanic, don't worry about that. You still will get the shadow gold as long as you assassinate the guy before, you know, he turns around, you know, in the act of assassination. So I hope you guys found that helpful. That's going to wrap it up for the 4th mission. I hope you guys are enjoying this, and hopefully we'll see you in part 5.